Live. Hello and welcome everybody to the wonderful world of Hyrule. I'm your hostess, MathGirl718, and joining me today has been Cretan. How are you?
Doing just fine. How about yourself?
I am pretty good. So we got a race today between Yodonashi and Pool Float. So this should be good.
We do. It is week 2 of the Link to the Past Randomizer League. These two gentlemen representing the Land of the Blind on the right, and I saw Rambler jump out of the vents on the left, and they are off.
Right, and you should have the restream in Discord. Alright, so I missed what was there in Link's house. Did you catch it?
I did not happen to catch it.
We'll probably see. Oh, 20 rupees. Had to have been 20 rupees because they both have 20 rupees.
Makes sense. Definitely different to see two Link's house starts, but heading in different directions. Yodonashi having some trouble with those blue guards, trying to farm some bombs out of the bushes south of the grove, as Pool Float heads into the front of Escape. And full disclosure, I, along with Yodonashi and Worldwide Wimpy, am part of the Land of the Blind team. Wimpy also signed up to try to commentate today, but I think the moderator, the commentation moderators decided 2 biased commentators might be a little much.
Yeah, that makes sense. Alright, so what was that on the race game?
Looked like a big 20 to me. It was something red that Yodonashi decided wasn't worth his time.
Alright, and 20 rupees on the library shelf. Not coming back for that, I imagine.
Yodonashi heading into the village with only 1 bomb. Might be heading to the supply shed after this backside tavern check here.
It's not unlikely. Oh, hey. That's a, I think, tier 1 treat pull of hearts. Also a bottle with green goo.
Ooh,
Yes,
that's
please.
Nice find for Pool Float. Yeah, he'll be able to check Sick Kid on his first trip through Village. Ooh, Yodonashi, opting to live dangerous, heads to the chicken hut and spends his one bomb.
You know, the amount of times I see bombs in here, though. Nope, piece of heart. I think that... No, that's not vanilla. That's 10 arrows in vanilla.
Pretty sure you're right, although it's been a long time since I walked into that door in vanilla.
Alright, let's see what's here in Blind's hut.
I mean, I don't mind telling you I'm hoping for 3 bombs.
Yeah, same. Also, I must say, Pool Float's screen is very colorful.
Yeah, that's, palette swaps are discouraged, but that's not a palette swap, that's just something going on with his display there.
I like it. Alright, let's see. Ah, there was no bombs in here.
Alright, well, keep your eyes glued to the left side of the screen. Oh no, Pool Float doesn't have bombs either. Very interesting.
Yes. Although this is why I think a lot of people do the south route to CAC to get those bombs. Single rupee.
Both are runners living dangerous.
Oh, bow and a hammer.
All the offense was hiding in CAC well today.
Still no bombs, though.
No bombs, and neither runner has enough to talk to our turbaned merchant.
Or get bombs. So I think Yodonashi is probably going up to the Lost Woods and then might be checking the bush crab in Tier 1. Ooh, Moon Pearl!
Ooh, Moon Pearl. That is a huge find for Rambler. We'll see if Yodonashi opts after finding his bottle here in Lost Woods to turn around. Otherwise, it might be a while before he sees his Dark World access.
Oh gosh, let's hope that they, if they don't go check those few checks. Oh, look what Pool Float's doing. He got rupees somewhere and he's doing that.
At this point, it's almost better that that Yodonashi didn't have bombs for those bomb checks. It might pull him back into the village sooner rather than later. I'm not seeing a save and quit, though. It looks like he might be headed in that direction.
Moon Pearl was on the Sick Kid, right?
Right.
So he couldn't have gotten it anyway until you got that bottle. Because, that's kind of a thing. Gotta have a bottle for Sick Kid.
Right. My thinking just being, if that's the only check that you're leaving behind in the village, it's a while before you go back there, but knowing that he had bombs, that he had the bomb checks still to do. Bomb-locked bombs in the well.
Of course. Of course. Why wouldn't they be? Wow. Game, please. Yodo? Yodo, what are you doing?
It looks like you might be checking Lumberjack. This is an odd or walking to Sank? This is strange.
What are you doing? What? Blue mail and okay. Sure, I guess this works.
Now, obscure bit of Link to the Past trivia. To the left of the start button is this select button, as it was called on the Super Nintendo. Now, that actually allows you, now bear with me here, to save and quit.
I
can be a jerk because he's on my team.
Actually, I've got a question. Does he play NMG?
Yodonashi is the rookie of the team. He has not done the NMG speedrun. He had not done any randomizer until like a month before Season 2 of the League, which is where our team debuted.
Okay, because I was going to say, if he does NMG, he might think that... Okay, I saw Pendant Eastern, 5-6 at Desert, and a regular Crystal at Hera. But he might think that he might forget that he's allowed to save and quit a rando. You know, because they're not allowed to in NMG. Any percent run. So, anyway, let's see. What's here in the dam?
Looks like Yoda's heading into the escape segment with a weapon.
Sword.
A little deeper, and sword is in dam.
You know, if you don't have a select button, aren't there cases where you can be forced to save and quit a rando? Like if you don't have mirror and you're stuck in Dark World?
Yeah. I mean, I suppose you could take an intentional death in that case, but... I think the only time when you would absolutely have to save and quit or be soft locked is if you dropped into Skullwoods in very rare but possible key lock situations.
I mean, even then, you could probably take a death off of an enemy or a spike or something.
Well, that's the thing. A death would, I believe, only bring you to the beginning of the dungeon.
Oh, yeah, you're right. No. Wait.
Which if you dropped
yeah,
in,
that's
could
true.
Have your key locked.
Ooh. Yeah, you're right. Oh, hey, there's our Dark World access. We got a glove in the mini Moldorm cave.
We do indeed. Yodonashi whipping out his his hammer, taking care of that guard, and collecting his first 3 blueberries of the seed.
Alright, so let's see where we're going. Ice Rod Cave, of course, but then where do you go? I'd say Dark World.
Yeah, I mean, you've got everything you need.
Or actually, you might do Eastern first into a pod. If he knows Dark Room's pool float, that is.
Yeah, with a pendant Eastern, that's a slightly iffier play.
I say that's almost more motivation just because that's all Sphere 1. Or the first half of it's all Sphere 1. 20 rupees there.
Yeah, it's a possibility, but you've also got Thieves Town full clearable right there, unless you're... Well, he's got quite a few hearts, actually, so...
Yeah, but you can do that.
Scary.
You can do that and then dip into pod, because you could finish pod, I think. Like, you'll have to do Dark Rooms, but...
Yeah, although with no mirror, it's not like you can route them easily together in any case, but... Looks like we're both wrong. He decides to hit up Hype Cave first, which is an initial Dark World play that I'm coming to like more and more.
Yeah, unfortunately, Hype Cave usually isn't all that hype anymore. But let's see, we got... The guy has 10 arrows. Bombs. 20 rupees. Burna. And a piece of heart. So, Burna out of 10. Okay, so we got Green Pendant Turtle Rock, Pendant Pod, 5-6 at Ice.
Yodonashi giving us a celebratory couple of sword swipes on finding his first sword in Dam.
I think it was Green Pendant Turtle Rock to our tracker. Wasn't it?
I'm fairly sure you're right. We will likely get confirmation of that when Yodonashi does his own map check upon reaching his Dark World access, which he should be getting pretty soon, assuming he bears right And yep, he's heading towards Mini Moldorm Cave.
You know, I'm sure they'll be glad that they have the bow already, because with that crystal pendant layout, both bows could have been in GT.
Yeah, that's a pretty bad feeling. Not one that you get often, but entering GT without the bow.
That's just something you'd rather avoid if at all possible. Although, there is a glitch known as Mimic Clip, but it's really difficult. It is minor, but it's difficult. It requires several one-frame movements.
True, and it's also quite time-consuming.
Well, I mean, probably faster than having to leave GT and come back.
Oh, absolutely. If you know how to do it, you definitely do it in that circumstance. You just wonder in the back of your mind, did my opponent get that bow? Is this a time loss compared to his run?
Interestingly, there is one mimic room where it's actually physically impossible to mimic clip. You know that there's two mimic rooms in pod, right? Like, we all know that. The one in the back and the one to right side.
Right.
The one to right side you can mimic clip. But it is physically impossible to mimic clip in the one in the back.
That is interesting trivia. Yeah, considering that even if you could mimic clip that, it wouldn't do you much good because you are hard bow required in the room just after it.
Yeah, but like, something about those walls does not allow you to mimic clip. Just doesn't allow it.
This game's weird. It has so many weird nooks and crannies. I love it.
Anyway, we're off to Eastern. Or at least the Saha's closet. Yeah, no, I learned that the hard way when I tried to do it so that I could do some major glitching to the back, and I realized it wasn't possible. And I asked, and they're like, yeah, it's not possible because the walls don't allow it. Alright, nothing in the back of Saha's closet.
It looks like Yodonashi heading towards the village area, maybe hoping to double check some of those bomb checks that you left behind before and then head into Dark Village.
Yep. Not a bad idea. I do kind of like this Eastern play, though. Just because it's there, and it's full clearable if you can dark room.
Yeah, it's one of those weird Schrodinger's checks where there are 3 checks in there. All 3 might be in logic, or you might be facing a logic break situation. It just depends on how they're laid out.
Yep. Well, I think you're guaranteed to get 1 item in logic. Yeah, because if you get map, compass, and big key, then the big chest is in logic and you'll get the item, or if you get map and compass and an item, well, you got an item.
Right, so you're guaranteed at least 1 in logic check.
And there's a bottle with some sort of bee in it. Yodonashi going back for his cat checks that he missed. Definitely a good thing. Would not be the first time I saw a runner forget about a bomb check that they did not do.
Absolutely, and that blue mail for a new runner, I mean, that's helpful this early in the run for anybody, but especially for somebody with a little less experience. It's so nice to have that effectively double health.
Yeah, and there's the big key. So if they get the fire rod in this next chest or the lamp, the back of Eastern Palace is actually in logic if you get the big key before the dark room and you have the fire rod.
Correct. That was changed in, I believe, version 31 of the logic. Any room that has a lightable torch is considered in logic if you have fire rod.
Yep. Which, interestingly, can actually have lamp and GT if you have just the right setup. It's rather uncommon, but it can happen. Speaking of fire rod.
Yep, it's sitting there in the chest game of the Dark Village. Not that Pool Float's too worried. This is one of the easier dark rooms. The next one he might happen to encounter is a little trickier.
My favorite method is hold out the sword, start shooting arrows up until you hit something, go up a bit till it starts moving, go back down, and shoot another arrow.
Pool Float taking a second to weigh his options, opts to save and quit out, and if I'm counting my items right, that means the final item in Eastern is on Armos, but not logically obtainable right now.
Also, chat pointing out, yes, we have a green pendant turtle rock. Oh! French vanilla mitts, hello!
That is a huge find for Yodonashi. That opens up routing so nicely when you have both of the major ways into the dark world at your disposal.
Dang! Alright, 50 rupees, shield, and small key in the back of escape. Dang! Oh, just mitts there is very nice. I do imagine that Pool Float will go there shortly.
It does seem to be where he's beelining, and it occurs to me also that fire rod is also a very fortuitous find. That means Yodonashi will be able to go straight up into Skull Woods and knock out a couple of crystal dungeons on the lickety-split.
Yep. Although, you said he's newer? I don't think he'll want to do a moth fight with his current loadout.
Yeah, it's true. A fighter sword moth fight is never great, and that blue mail does not help much in the moth fight since those spikes do 1 heart of damage, ignoring armor.
8 heart, blue mail, fire sword moth. Yeah, single magic too. Yeah, no, I don't think that's a fight anybody wants to do, especially somebody newer to the rando. Like, that is just a disgusting fight.
Yep, he does have a good, 3 or 4 checks in between here and there. It's possible he might find something like a Master Sword or ideally a half magic to make life a little easier. Though he does still have, he has a green goo in his pocket, I noticed in that last bit of menuing. That would make that moth fight a little more approachable.
A little, but I'm not sure enough.
Yeah, it's going to be a judgment call with those titans rather in his pocket. He has plenty of other options if he decides to leave that check for a little later.
Exactly.
Yodonashi opting for the slightly slower but safer strat of bombing that crystal switch after missing the skull throw. Not a bad plan considering that these crickets, ooh, and he takes a hit. They hit quite hard, and their movement patterns are pretty erratic.
Yep. Alright. But does open up the light.
Yodonashi takes another hit from the crickets. There are a couple of safety hearts hiding in the basement if you can make it that far. Blind is another one of those fights that can be pretty intimidating when you're new to the game.
Yeah, although at least Blind has a script. So that does make it to an extent easier. Although, Yoda, you might want to be a little careful with your health there, sir.
Yeah, Blind does have the good manners to respect your armor, but when you have this few hearts, that doesn't mean as much as it might.
Oh dear. Oh! Stop taking hits!
Yodo, I'm gonna tell you what... I'm gonna tell you what my parents told me my senior year of high school. Stop taking hits. It's affecting your performance. They were talking about academic performance, but the same theory applies here.
You know, you want to know something interesting about the blind fight, though? Oh, hey, Red Ring. And this is a little piece of trivia that is actually not that well known. You can actually restart the script. It's several minutes out of the way, but if you're ever in a dire situation, you can restart the script. Blind will be in the cell until you kill the boss. It will keep respawning, even if you've brought Blind to the boss room.
So you could go down to the maiden cell, get the maiden again, and bring her back to the boss arena? Is that what I'm understanding?
Yep. Oh,
what a weird dumb game this is. Oh, and Yodo is in. Yep, he takes the death.
That's unfortunate. But yes, if you're ever in a dire situation, it is an option. Especially useful knowledge for inverted. Oh, you can also buy a fire shield in the specialty shop for 500 rupees if you're even more desperate. Just some little trivia.
Yeah, that was definitely a move that I was known to make anytime I had the option during my early days of running this. Take a little detour, buy that shield, buy the ability to block a lot of those bullets that like to make your life hell in the blind fight.
Yep. Alright, time for blind second go round. Oh boy. Yodo, please be careful. Unfortunately, hasn't been to Hype Cave, so doesn't have Burna. Oh my gosh. Oh my gosh.
Oh yeah, that blue cane makes this fight trivial if you decide to use it, and Cool Floats will have the option. Alright, final phase of the blind fight.
Especially with that... Ooh. But especially with that green goo that he would... Oh, careful. You're almost there. Got it!
Yes! With the jukes!
50 rupees on blind. And more importantly, a crystal.
Cool Float, meanwhile, letting the script get away from him, but he's going into this fight with quite a bit more health, so... And he had that blue cane out just in case. Turned out not necessary. Takes care of his blind fight in one try.
Yep. Yodo does not... Oh, he's doing the rest of the village outcast. Makes sense. 20 rupees there. So, have either of them checked, the chess game? I feel like we did.
Yeah,
oh, yeah,
that was our fire round. Yeah.
Ether. Okay. That's nice.
Well, Turtle Rock's a pendant. Mire is required, so you know what they say. Ether it'll come in handy or it won't.
Oh, look where Yoda's going. Looks like going to Skullwoods. No?
Yep.
No, it looks like Bumper Cave. Or maybe taking the other entrance to Skullwoods? Yeah, other entrance, okay. Meanwhile, Pool Float going to Digging Game. I'm probably gonna get the Smith, or might get the Smith actually. Depends.
Yeah, that would be the, well, I was about to say that would be the usual move at this point, although with no mirror boots, that's a pretty slow bit of progression.
And just 20 rupees at Digging Game.
Yodonashi opting to make life easy on himself and whip out that fire rod to use against the Gibdos in the button room here.
Definitely a good idea. Those Gibdos like to get in the way. Oh no!
Ooh, but you know who likes it even more? Mr. Hand.
So, something about the next room. Sorry for all the trivia, but, if you hit the, if you hit the red, jellyfish dude and split it up, you cannot lift that pot for the, full magic or it won't spawn. Something super tiles and too many. Oh, there's the lamp. Something super tiles and too many sprites. Oh no!
Oh, speaking of mummies that like to get in the way, yeah, you gotta just take the health hit when he gets in your way like that. I know it's painful, but you are on a tight timer before that hand gets you. I think the tilt might be starting to get to Yodonashi a little. He's wading in here with reckless abandon.
Oh, this is... Skullwoods is a really horrible dungeon. Like, it's got Moth, and it's got those stupid wall masters.
All that for a single small key.
Yes, we have a tracker. Let's see. On tracking, we got Dirty Peels.
Yes, indeed. Big thanks, as always, to our tracking team and to our restream team, who I believe I'm talking to right now. Thank you, Math Girl.
You're welcome. Always a pleasure. So, looks like Yoda's going to the back. Not sure if he's gonna do Moss. But at least gonna... Ooh, careful. Careful!
I think this might be a situation where you just walk into a Moldorm, take the death, and get the refill.
Yeah, I gotta agree. And yep, that looks like what he's doing.
Last thing you want is to get 3-4 rooms into that dungeon and only then take that accidental death. And he is taking the time out to check this first chest. This is a move that I like. He hasn't seen either of the 2 items in Skullwoods yet. He's gonna have to check this anyway, and there's the off chance that it'll be something that makes the moth fight easier.
It's a big key, so, delayed item. Oh, another interesting note. So you know about that soft luck room, pinball room it's called?
Yes, indeed.
So if you do Skullwoods just right, you're guaranteed to never be soft locked in that room. So the thing is, Mothula cannot have a small key, ever. Unless you're in no logic, but that's different. So if you go to the vanilla big key chest first, then to the map room, and then drop down the hole on going through the other 2 rooms, you're guaranteed to have a small key by the time you need it in pinball room.
Oh, Yodonashi cutting it tight with his torches here, and he misses it. He is forced to use his green goo before even getting to the moth fight.
Oh dear. That's gonna... Ooh. I don't like this. I don't think this is a good idea.
On the other hand, it looks like he will be rewarded for doing backside first, because there are no items in front side. Pool Float just checked them.
Yeah, I mean, unless it's in the... Oh, no! Oh. Wait, why did it look like the hand had him? Oh, no, I just had to say something.
Because you were seeing into the future, is what that was. And as our mutual teammate rightly points out in the chat, looked like Yodonashi was trying to get the key from the Gibdos. It is not required.
He's newer, so he probably doesn't realize. Ooh. Jellies are so obnoxious. Right, while we're doing this, go ahead and give our runners a follow. Go ahead and give the team a follow. These runners really trying their best and putting on a good show. Definitely not easy to be on Restream, especially when you're newer. Very brave.
I was terrified to to stream this for anybody but my own chat, who already knows that I'm an idiot. For the longest time, I avoided doing any races, any tournaments, specifically because I was afraid to be embarrassed on stream. And then I realized it happens to everybody sooner or later.
Hey, I mean, I've seen even great runners mess up. Like the one where somebody skipped Link's house till it was their go mode item.
Yep, we've seen this. I mean, in this very season of League, I got all the way up to Mini Helmasaur Room in GT before I realized that I didn't have the small key that I needed to keep going. Lucked out, got bailed out by RNGesus, and was able to continue, but everybody in chat got to see me smooth brain it that day, so...
Wait, was I your restreamer? I feel like I restreamed you.
Well, it was, in fact, an open league race this season, so yeah, pretty sure you restreamed it.
So, oh, and Pool Float gets the moth down. Let's see what the item is. Piece of heart. A couple PSAs from just, like, watching too many things almost happen. One, get a small key before you go up the tower, please. And two, don't drink potions in doorways. Unless you know what you're doing.
On the other hand, if you're watching a crowd control race, making the runner drink a potion in a doorway is hilarious, and I highly recommend it.
You can... Oh, God. So it's a... If anybody's curious, Google YBA's Yuzahara's Bottle Adventure. You will find out why you don't want to do that. It's frame perfect, but it can really screw you up. And if you want more details, ask in glitched modes. I'm sure there's plenty of people there that would be happy to explain it to you. Yes, don't do cane tricks in doorways either.
Yodonashi making it through the torch room with his last fire rod shot.
Yep.
Just go right, buddy. Just go right. You got this. Just go right. Nope. Nope. Just go right.
But you don't need a small key.
No, you're good. Just get nope. Don't. This is not a fight you need. You don't want this. You think you want this, but you don't want this. Oh, it hurts to watch.
I feel I do, because you know, we've all been there. We've all been the new player. Everybody starts there at some point. Shovel.
Shovel and big chest.
Alright, well, oh god. Oh, Yodo.
Yeah, that was a foregone conclusion with his heart containers the way they were going into that fight. That's a fight that the most experienced runner, it would give them pause.
Yeah, heart and a half, no magic and fighter sword? No thanks. No thanks. I'll pass.
And at this point, the move to make if you are dead set on completing this dungeon is to just back up, go back into the button room, and get that full magic refill. It hurts, but compared to this, you gotta do what you gotta do.
I would definitely just hold off on Moth if I were him. But, gotta give him credit for going at this regardless. Alright, let's see what's on Pyramid Ledge. 10 arrows.
Alright, Yodonashi knows that there's nothing that he needs between here and Moth, except for a hug from a beetle.
Time for Moth Fight 3? Fight 2?
Fairly sure it's 3, and the spikes win again.
Oh. This is painful. Yeah, Yoda, just come back later. Just come back later. With better equipment.
Yeah, there is so much other stuff to check. It is exceedingly unlikely that this winds up being where progression is. I mean, we already know as the viewers that it's not, but it's one item. Like, yeah, you're gonna have to come back, but
Ooh, Yoda, please don't die in the overworld, please. Yoda? I don't even know where this drops you. Oh, it's this room.
yeah, it gets you back to where you were going. It's just not the fastest way. This is something that I did probably my first 10 or 20 runs, just because I thought it was the way before my ever-patient chat corrected me. Meanwhile, it looks like Pool Float has headed into Pod.
Yoda, what are you doing? Oh, getting a health refill. Good idea.
And this pod at this point is fully clearable and in logic. It is a pendant dungeon, but it's a lot of items, so can't fault him for this play.
Yep, so... What is it? 5 items? Yeah, 5. And it's all in logic. So yeah, I gotta agree.
The number of times I've thought, I mean, I can probably skip Pod. There's other stuff to check. I might be fine. It's so far out of the way. Don't do it. If you can clear Pod, just go do Pod.
Alright, what was the first chest? Because I think that might be, I think the rest of these will be keys, just based on the key logic. Okay, so flippers were in the first chest of Pod, so that's both items in the front, so everything else will be small keys in the front. Because unless in rare circumstances that this is guaranteed not to be, There will be 4 small keys in the front minimum. Oh no, pool float. And also, oh, poor Yodo. I could be mistaken, but I'm pretty sure everything else is small keys in the front.
Fairly sure you're right. So minor time sink on Pool Float's part, getting that vanilla big key chest, but I think you're sort of at a level here where just full clear.
I mean, but if you know that a chest is guaranteed to be a key for a key.
Well, that's you know that and I know that, but that's a bit of key logic that takes brain power that a newer runner should be dedicating to top level routing decisions, in my opinion. That's something that you worry about later on in your rando career.
I believe this chest will also be key. Yep, okay.
Yeah, so he has one more small key left to find.
So basically, if you find anything but small keys in the front of pod, you know everything else in the first 6 chests will be small keys. Doesn't matter whether it's map and compass or what. If it's anything other than a small key, it counts as one of the 2 non-keys. Flute! That's a very good find. That's hard required to seed.
Yes, indeed, and with no mirror and no boots, convenience routing items like that have been hard to come by.
I think this might be... No, this isn't going to be a key. Oh, yeah, it is. Wait, what did... Yeah, because there's that key, and then that key, and then the boss key. So, the other thing, aside from those very, 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 very rare circumstances, and if you're on Customizer where there can be a small key in the Dark Maze, you're not going to see a small key in the Dark Maze. The circumstances I speak of are basically if a bow or if the first bow or the hammer is locked in the Dark Maze or the big chest. It's an exception, but you know, it's pretty rare. 10 bombs now, so that was 3 bombs there. So do we have the map and compass and whatnot, or?
I did not notice. Pool Float taking what is almost certainly an intentional death. This is going to be a little bit faster than... Oh, no, he's quitting out. Well, might still be intentional.
Alright. Looks like Yoda's heading to Hype Cave. So let's look at our items. We've got potential mire access, we've got mire shed, we've got ice palace, part of it guaranteed, and maybe all of it depending on key layout. Can't enter swamp, can't get in anywhere into TR without the cane.
With that lamp, we do have, and the flute, we have logical mountain access, but not Hera access. We would need either hookshot or mirror for that.
Yeah, I think going to the mountain's probably a good idea. Yeah, Ice Palace is a thing. And desert... No desert, no book, no mirror. Have we seen a Gina?
I do not believe we've seen a Gina, no. Although we might be in just a second here with Quake on Desert Ledge. Pool Float is beelining a Gina.
Probably a good idea to get this, just in case it's a required item. Also, I think our head height is down to Bombo's hook shot.
That's the hook shot.
Okay, Bombos are mirror.
So that opens up a lot more good stuff on the mountain. You can get over East
Oh,
Paradox Cave.
That could be bad, because that's out of the way.
Yeah, until you find that flute. I mean, that's the time that you check it, typically, unless you find a book or something like that to pull you into desert.
Well, look where Yodo is, though. He might go to Pod after Catfish. It looks like he's going. Also, with that hook shot, that is Hera access. Just a side note.
I'm trying to remember, where did Pool Float find that lamp?
Hammer Pigs.
Hammer Pigs.
Thanks, chat.
Yeah, I think, well, that might not be too far out of Yodonashi's way, depending on what he's trying to accomplish over here right now. I feel like Smith Chain, if you're looking for just some nice, easy checks, if you're feeling maybe a little tilted, you're not feeling like dipping into any more dungeons.
Just a green rupee up there. So, gonna go to East Death Mountain now, I have to assume. And possibly, well, do you do Hera and then Dark Death Mountain, or do you just skip Hera?
I think you absolutely... Well, if it's me playing, I definitely do Hera first. It's a crystal. If you can do Bomb Strat's Hera Pod, it's very quick. Even if you can't, it's not a particularly long dungeon. You do spend a little bit of time getting there and then walking back, but not nearly as much time as you'd spend doing another mountain climb if it turns out your progression is hiding there.
True. I mean, unless you find the mirror in one of the, like, East Death Mountain checks.
Absolutely.
In which case, you definitely go do Dark Death Mountain and go straight to Hera. Nothing I've seen in Paradox.
Looks like Yodonashi's heading to Stumpy and Dig Game. I know Pool Float did Dig Game. I forget if I saw what was on Stumpy. Just 10
arrows. Also, I forgot, boots could also be on the ped if it's Desert's boot lock. Or even GT is. Because, you know, that fun 1 in 22 when it says, heck you all.
Yep, that's always an absolute heartbreaker when you get all the way up there. That looks like Pool Float is heading into Hera. Yodonashi's starting to head up into the Smith Chain and then remembering, oh wait, for whatever reason, the game doesn't like me bringing a follower into Dig Game. Let's go ahead and do that first.
I think the reasoning is, from what I've heard, Shovel counts as a follower, and the game really doesn't like you having 2 followers. So, makes sense enough for me.
Makes at least as much sense as anything else that goes on in this silly old game. Ooh, Pool Float missing the coffee break, having to work right through his lunch break here today.
Oof. So, for being 51 minutes in, this has been a very dry progression seed. We still need Kane. We still might need Bombos. We still need Mirror. We might need Boots. I imagine that Yodo's probably not comfortable with Silverless, so probably gonna need a second bow.
I mean, at this point, we still need Master Sword if we're gonna fight Ganon at all.
That too.
Pool Float taking the Death Warp back up to the top of Hera with that big key in tow. Ooh, Red Cane in Shovel Spot. That is a nice find for Yodonashi. Might allow him to make up some time depending on when Pool Float makes his way around to there. And a half magic in Tower of Hera. That is an excellent convenience item, especially in a seed like this where you're sitting here with Fighter Sword. That half magic Fire Rod comes in handy any number of places.
And Armos, I guess, because we never saw the Armos item.
Looks like Yodonashi's heading towards that purple chest the long way. He's got that hammer out. The real value's in hammer pegs.
Yep. Hopefully he goes there. Alright, Pool Float. Just take it nice and careful. Yep. That's where he's going. Oh, gosh.
Oh, we've got an aggro Moldorm. He's mad. He's not going to take it anymore.
Oh, jeez. Oh, careful, careful, careful. Don't go near that middle hole, please. Oh, ooh, ooh. Okay.
Oh, that was an absolute heart stopper. That last hit.
That was a little monk-ass. Oh my gosh, there's Bombos. So we know where all three medallions are. Without the mirror or the book, though, can't get the last one. Yeah, that's true. If Purple Chest has something, it could be a lead.
Yeah, once you leave that behind as Pool Float is done, that's something that you wait a good long while before you come back to.
Alright, moment of truth. Is it required? Nope. 300 rupees.
Oh, and Yodonashi turned... Oh, wait, no, he's thinking... No, turn around, turn around! No!
Oh, dear. Oh! Speaking
and there's
of
the book.
Alright, so, that gives us access to Quake, which means we're guaranteed to be able to get into Turtle Rock and Mire. Oh no, Yodo, please no.
Pool float missing the hook shot clip by just the tiniest bit there. It's still a coin flip whether I can make that to this day. I need to practice it more.
Yeah, I feel bad for Yodo though, just going up here and it's not gonna be able to do Ace Death Mountain.
Yeah, I can certainly see avoiding pod up until this point, not having the lamp, knowing those are some pretty difficult dark rooms, and the items aren't in logic anyway. As things stand right now, I can't imagine it takes him too long to make his way there. As Pool Float gives us our first look into Hookshot Cave, some nice item density here.
Hey, speaking of swords, that puts Ether Tablet in logic. Oh boy. That's gonna be a while before they get back to that.
Yep, with no mirror.
Oh gosh, you know, I just thought of something cruel.
What's that?
Mirror on Ether Tablet.
Yeah, that would be pretty rough. How long does it take you to get there?
That'd be like a last location sort of thing.
I mean, Mira could be on PED for all we know right now.
Yep. Ped is not dead. Mirror boots for desert or GT. Yeah, I think that's it. Mirror boots. Or, oh, well, I was about to say silvers, but there's the silvers on the Hylia Island. Wait, have we really not done Zora area?
I don't think we have.
Oh my goodness. We're almost an hour in and we're just now getting to the... Oh, wow.
Yeah, neither of them decided to do the fake flip play early on, and Pool Float's had other stuff to do since finding those flippers.
Well, we've had Zora access for... God, where were those gloves? I think since Kakariko. Because Zora just requires a glove to be in logic. Yeah, wasn't the glove in Kek?
I believe so. Looks like Yodonashi might be... Well, we'll see where he goes from here. He just went and filled up his bottle with a blue goo. He doesn't want any more situations like that moth fight. He wants to have some safety in his back pocket.
Can't blame him. Yeah, it was early. It was really early. It was like Sphere 1 early. So Zora's Sphere 2. Man, that's a dangerous play to skip.
Speaking of fake flipper plays, that might be what Yodonashi is thinking here. He might have been up there thinking, maybe I'll go to Zora, and then thinking, well, if I'm doing that anyway, why not go the whole 9 yards?
Piece of heart on the ledge. Not gonna have to go back for that. Also, when you get a chance, you might tell Yodo that you can bomb yourself into the transition.
Yeah, that's definitely the safe way to do this on the first try. I think it saved you. Oh, and there's the boots.
Oh! Oh, jeez. That's a Sphere 2 boots. That hurts to see. You're like, oh my gosh, did my opponent get that and has had boots this entire time?
when meanwhile we know that our 2 runners are getting this at nearly the same time.
Oh, you can only imagine what Pool Float must be thinking right now. Oh, that hurts. That hurts. This is why you don't skip early sphere checks. Like I said, Zora himself only requires the glove or the flippers.
Yodonashi making use of this Moon Pearl-enabled water walk to skip some of the roundabout routing on this screen, and he's going to be happy to see that.
I'm not sure happy's the right word for it. Happy, but also, oh no, I am in trouble. Full Float just got King's Tomb access, like. But yeah, I think he did skip it. Goodness.
Yoda heading into Bonk Rocks. We'll see whether he takes a detour into King's Tomb after this.
I would. You've got so little access left. Yup, that looks like where he's going.
Yep, and Pool Float opting to pick up that orphan purple chest. The boot's not going to save him any time turning this in.
You say that, but you can do some shenanigans with the hook shot. Or, yeah. Just, yeah. Also, nothing there in King's Tomb.
With no mirror, Pool Float walking right past that shovel spot, but in the wrong place to make use of it. That red cane's going to remain hidden, and my hopes for a Land of the Blind victory remain hopeful.
I mean, without that cane, that's gonna lock out a lot of stuff, though, because if the answer's Turtle Rock, you're gonna be forced that direction very quickly.
Where is Yodonashi headed? Could he be making an... Oh, he never...
Never.
Did he go to Ice... Oh, Yoda...
He's setting up for a water walk, also.
Oh.
Yeah, I love that.
He never went to the Hobo before. He could be going there, or he could be making a ballsy Ice Palace play.
Ugh, you do not go Ice Palace right now. Where are you going? Yoda?
Here, bud. Okay, I think that was just the wonky swimming physics taking him through the portal when he didn't want to go.
That sure looked rather intentional route towards that portal. I don't agree with Ice Palace right now. Fighter sword without flippers. I don't agree with this.
Yeah, I feel like going back and messing around in Skull Wood some more would be a better move than this, at least staying within logic.
Also, Wimpy, we also have Turtle Rock and Meyer. Also, sorry.
Yeah, I was just thinking, Yodonashi also has just used the last bit of his magic for that one fire rod shot. He's got that blue goo in his back pocket, but it does not feel good to know that your one piece of safety is already spoken for in a Fighter Sword Ice Palace.
Oh, gosh. Also, something that he probably doesn't know, but you can use hookshot to kill these guys.
Well, Yodonashi doesn't have hookshot right now, unfortunately. You can also use bombs, but...
Oh, Gina's right.
Yep. He needs to go into pod to get that flute. Or make a wild play into a Gina, but I don't imagine him doing that before finding flute.
You say that, but he just fake flippered into Ice Palace.
That's true. Predicting his moves at this point might be a fool's errand.
Like, if there's anything that's a crazy play, it's going into Ice Palace out of logic with a fighter sword.
And Yoda's heading through the old-fashioned way. I had a feeling when he refilled his, or not refilled, but got that bomb capacity upgrade, he was planning to do some Ice Palace bomb jumping and wanted to make sure he had as many tries as he could manage.
Nope, not a bad plan. I don't suppose you know if he knows the hookshot bomb. Actually, no, it doesn't matter because he... Wait. Does he know the bomb jump if it's hookshot locked?
I'm not sure.
Also, nice Landmo fight.
Very pretty Landmo fight on Pool Float's side. Takes him down.
Also, nothing in desert. We saw 2 pieces of heart.
Yep, nothing in desert proper, although Pool Float did just pick up that 3rd medallion, so he can feel confident that he has what he needs to get into Turtle Rock and Mire.
Except he doesn't have the Canis Maria.
Yeah, can't do much while he's there, certainly not in TR.
Where was Samaria?
Shovel spot.
Right. Oh. Good.
Mm-hmm.
You know what I've seen entirely too many times?
What's that?
Somebody forgetting they have either the mushroom or the shovel because the powder or the flute are covering them.
Oh, yeah, that does happen. Those are items that you never have at the same time in vanilla, but since, of course, almost anything can happen in randomizer, they share a slot.
That could be a problem.
Speaking of problems, Yodonashi having some trouble with his Ice Palace bomb jump here. This is one of the trickier ones in the game. It's the first one that a lot of people learn, or at least that used to be the case before Icebreaker was legalized. Nowadays, new runners often learn Icebreaker first.
I mean, it's generally more useful.
Oh, absolutely. I 100% recommend that folks learn this first, just because you do still hit that odd seed where you do not have Red Cane when you go into Ice Palace.
Yes.
You don't want to lose a race because you never learned IPBJ.
Oh gosh, yeah. That's a thing. Oh, no.
Let's see if Yoda gets stubborn about this the way he did about Skull Woods. He's going back in. Kudos to Yodonashi for not killing those jellies. I know if I'm in his position right there, muscle memory takes over and I forget that I already got that key. Let's see whether Pool Float can show us how IPBJ is done. First try. Congratulations, Pool Float.
Also, excuse me for a minute.
Oh, Cinecide points something out. Yodonashi did not have enough magic for Icebreaker before. he didn't want to spend his blue goo yet, but now he has nothing to lose. He's going for it.
Yep. Alright, let's see.
Yoda having trouble with that initial setup. It is pixel perfect, although fortunately the doorway takes care of your vertical orientation. All you have to worry about is that horizontal.
Yep. So good trick to do is to line up with the door in the doorway and then go all the way right, slash left, and then menu, hold down right, and place a Samaria block while doing that.
By Jove, I think he's got it. No, just walk through. You got it. You got it already.
No, I don't think he did the setup for the Samaria placement correctly. Alright, so the trick to this, like I said, first of all, you go into the doorway, go all the way right, slash left, and once you're facing left, buffer a down right input, and while holding down right, press Y, then buffer one frame left, and then buffer a down input. Or an up input, doesn't matter.
Yeah, and at that point, you don't even need to buffer as long as you just hold up or down. If you've done everything else right, you should just walk through the wall.
Oh yeah, if he's on joystick, this is gonna... Oof. Oof. Also, Pool Float gets the icebreaker.
Now, normally I'm inclined to tell people that this is one of those glitches where it doesn't matter if you don't get it the first couple of times. It still saves you so much time that it's worth attempting. However, if you're on a joystick, and I very rarely say this, maybe you should just do the dungeon the vanilla way.
Yeah. Yeah, no, it's... Joystick's kind of painful.
Meanwhile, Pool Float dropping down towards his cold stare fight. He's got... I'm not sure what safeties he's got in his bottles, but he's got Half Magic and Fire Rod and Tempered Sword, which he picked up somewhere.
Where was that?
It was probably right here in Ice Palace. I was so worried about Yodonashi's glitch problems that I didn't notice it. On the plus side, Yodonashi does appear to be headed towards Eastern and Pod area. Ooh, and that's an unfortunate hit. Ooh, Pool Float, unless he has a fairy that I don't know about, which is entirely possible. Nope, that's an unfortunate death for Pool Float.
Oof. Dying to cold stare is painful. Not as painful now that Icebreaker exists, but still.
Oh, and my heart skips a beat. Yodonashi heads toward that pod Dark World portal. Could he be on his way to pick up his flute?
It looks that way.
Yodonashi not screwing around with that murderdactyl. He says, I'll slow down and charge a sword spin. You think I won't? I will murder you. Not dying to you. I've died too much already. Unfortunately, Pool Float, not having the option to even attempt the Icebreaker glitch, is going to have to show us another IPBJ before moving forward.
Yep. Kind of surprised he's not going for Icebreaker.
Well, he can't. He doesn't have that red cane.
Oh, right. Wait. Oh, I guess he was just in that room normally earlier. And he's just... Oh. Well, actually, I guess he already got everything, so... Just gonna do this vanilla. Ben?
Yes.
He only has one small key. Is that small key gonna be on Cold Stare?
I was not paying close enough attention.
So if that small key's on Cold Stare, yeah. He's in trouble. Because you need 2 small keys or the Smaria.
I do believe you're right. If you don't... He's about to walk in here. Well, wait. He can head to the right here.
Has he not done that?
Well, no, he's fine, because he already opened up the way to Cold Stare down here.
You sure about that?
Yeah, because he just died in his Cold Stare. Oh, right, but he can't push the block. That's right. Oh. So yeah, he's going to have to... Oh, and he just spent a key here.
So,
has he already gotten one in the Firebar and Shadow Room?
I was focusing on Yodo.
What an absolute comedy of errors this race is. You just have to laugh, and I hope that our 2 runners, who have every reason in the world to be frustrated at this point, I hope they're able to reach that point where you just where you just stop taking life so serious and just...
I just feel sorry for them.
Yeah.
Oh! Pool Float's going to get his Smaria.
Ooh, that's a big find for Pool Float. That opens up all kinds of stuff. And he's deciding to take this to Mire, which is a dungeon we have not yet seen. So what do we need at this point? Just Mirror for Swamp Palace, and then we're in go mode, if I am not mistaken.
Let's see. Yeah, I think you're right. But where's that mirror?
I mean, it could be here in Mire, it could be in Turtle Rock, it could be on Ped.
Oh, gosh. You just want these runners to suffer. It could be on Cold Stare if they didn't find all 3 items.
Yep. It could be on that ether tablet by Hera.
These poor runners.
There are lots of bad places it could be, and not very many good ones.
Alright, well... I guess this is... At least Yoda's gonna get his mirror. Or not mirror, flute. Thinking mirror and...
Which, if we're very lucky, will finally lead him to a Gina and his hook shot.
Wimpy saying, unless you're hammer yumping, there's no reason to throw the bomb. I don't see Yodo being able to hammer yump. Yeah, I really don't.
I think it's marginally quicker than walking the couple steps down and throwing it from this screen that he's entering right now, but those aren't margins that you're concerned with in a race like this.
Yeah, this is just... This seat is a thing. We're almost an hour and a half in, and we're not in go mode. I mean, kudos to these runners for sticking it out. At this point, I'd be almost ready to forfeit.
I'm a firm believer that one does not forfeit until they see the opponent finish, and it's good to remember. You know, I was just commentating an Invitational League race yesterday, and we had a seasoned runner with a lot more experience than either of these gentlemen, going through dungeons that they had cleared hours ago. Just they'd missed something and didn't know where it was, had clearly misclicked on their tracker, but they kept going, and good on them. So you got to remember, this happens to absolutely everyone. If you're thinking that someday you will cross that magical line where you never make a mistake that frustrates you, think again. This is what you've gotten yourself into by deciding to play this horrible game that we all love.
So where was the location in the end?
I believe it was Graveyard Ledge. It was Ice Rod on Graveyard Ledge.
Oh, it was the Ice Rod?
Yep, it was Ice Rod on Graveyard Ledge and Red Cane on Pendant Landmalas. That seed was terrible.
That is soul crushing. Alright. Well, off to Viddy.
How dangerous this fight's gonna be really depends on the contents of Float's bottle. Well, I suppose he's got that blue cane to make it a little more manageable.
Also, just think of it this way. If you ever forget something and think it's the worst thing that anybody's ever done, probably not. Because I saw a seasoned runner in a tournament qualifier miss the Quake in Link's house till it was their go mode. So that was it happens to the best of us. And it happens in the weirdest places you can possibly imagine. Oh, Mira could be on Helmasaur, couldn't it? Mirror could still be ped.
Mirror could be so many trolley places. And hey, remember those bees in that tree? I didn't until just now.
Yeah, that's a thing.
As Yodonashi says, you know what? Let's see just how trolly this seed is. Okay, no, it's not an agassiz.
No, but it could still be a ped seed.
It can be. And Yodonashi is not in a position to give us the answer to that question. He has not found his book yet.
So, after Turtle Rock, do you just, like, gamble it's on ped? Just like, you know, we've got so little to do.
Yeah, I mean, I'm... Typically, I will try to avoid a ped check unless I have mirror and can route it in with, with, Skull Woods, but when mirror is your go mode item...
Yeah, it's a... Ooh.
Oh, speaking of maybe not knowing how to switch to flute when you already have shovel, it's right there on the screen, buddy. It's the Y button.
There we go.
Okay, all right, you figured it out.
A little scary there for a second. Oh, chat saying he menued during the digging animation.
Oh, that makes sense. Yeah, if you are in the digging animation, it does not allow you to switch away from that shovel.
Gosh, where is the mirror at this point, though? Like, where do you think is the best place for it? Because there's... I mean, I guess Cold Stair's the best option, but, like, I think that has to be a small key at this point.
I mean, the real question is best for who? Best for me as a viewer who just wants to see this nonsense continue?
Pointing out a location we've totally forgotten about this whole time. Pyramid Fairy.
It's true.
Pool Float, you don't need to do this. You have Samaria, you can just put the block downstairs.
It's not about speed at this point, it's about honor.
Alright, and Yodo going to Meyer. Or Yodo still has that fighter sword. Where was Master again?
I know I'm fairly sure one of the sword upgrades was in Ice Palace.
I mean, pretty much. Oh, Hookshot Cave.
Hookshot Cave, that's right.
And he's still... Yodo. You're breaking my heart.
Yeah, Fighter Sword Vitreous, much like that Fighter Sword Moth, but if anything, even worse. That's something that should give you pause, almost no matter how experienced you are.
No, I was more speaking about the hookshot in Agina.
Oh, that's right, that's right. Yeah, Wimpy in the chat points out, if nothing else, he is overstocked with bombs and arrows. It's not the way you want to fight Vidi if you can avoid it, but it's doable.
Yeah, and has Hammer if he really wants to do that mess. But guys, guys and girls and those of other genders, please give these runners a follow. They are going through heck for us, for our enjoyment. And
my
also,
eyes are glued to the left side. That cold stare fight is no joke.
no, it isn't, but gets him down. Also, give the crew a follow, give my co-com Ben Cretan a follow, give our tracker Dirty Peels a follow. And I'm Math Girl, if you want to follow me as well.
Full-Flow taking down his 5th crystal of the seed. 6th crystal of the seed. It's just that Swamp Palace that is evading him.
Kinda need a mirror for that.
Yep. And we know it's not in either of the two convenient places. Yodonashi reminding us of a crystal switch and key location that we all forgot existed many years ago.
Gosh. This is... Where? Oh, Pullfoot gonna do Pyramid Fairy. Okay, we're gonna see if Mirror's in Pyramid Fairy. Because everywhere else includes some type of pendant dungeon shenanigans. Whether that's Saha, whether that's the Ped, whether that's Turtle Rock, or Mimic Cave, or even the bosses of Armos or Helmasaur. All of those require going into a pendant dungeon.
Freeing the bee, hoping to find a nice free blue goo or something in there.
And to the question in chat of, can someone have notes to next to them for a race? Also, I did not see Mirror in there. So you can actually you can open up VODs, you can open up tutorials, you can open up web pages to get help. You just can't get live help.
Yeah, what we can't do, no matter how much we may want to, is message the runner. Well, the race is happening. At least not this week.
What? What? Excuse me? Tell me I'm not the only one who just saw that.
I'm afraid I didn't. What happened?
So you know that trick where you push the block and fire rod through?
Oh, was Yodonashi trying to do that with the lamp?
No, he managed to fire rod without pushing the block.
Oh, that's unfortunate.
No, he got it. That's what I'm so confused about. He fire rodded through the block without
but the block
pushing.
Didn't move?
Yeah.
Link to the Past is a very well-programmed game. There are no glitches. Everything that happens in it is the developer's explicit intention.
Somebody in chat also saw that. What the heck just happened? My brain is just... What? Just what? No, but that's the thing. He didn't push the block. Like, I know about pushing the block and fire rodding through. I know that. But he didn't push the block.
Well, I think that might have been our first look at King's Tomb, but no love quite yet.
So, actually, I have a feeling that I might know what just happened. There's this thing in GT, you know that first torch room, right? Like, we all know what I'm talking about.
Sure.
There's like a 1 or 2 pixel window where you can fire rod the torch without picking up the pot. I wonder if it's the same deal here.
I've given up trying to figure out how glitches work in this game. People in chat will ask me, how are you doing all that? And I'll tell them, I don't know, man. I just know if I hit the buttons this way, this is what happens. You have to ask somebody else why it works.
You know what? I am too curious. I'm going to go ask in glitched modes and see if we can get an answer on this.
Well, I mean, if that's considered, if that's a newly discovered glitch, then it is not race legal. Throw out this whole race. It's done. No.
No, because, you know, the thing in GT is also allowed, so, like...
Yeah, no, I apologize. That was an off-color joke. That is allowed. This race is fine. Sorry, we're not supposed to joke like that. I'm sure a lot of us wish we could just throw this race out at this point, but in fact we can't. Full float heading into Spike Cave at this point. I suppose this has been available for a while, but this is another one of those out-of-the-way checks.
Alright, we'll see if we can answer. I'm sorry. My brain is just still in what the heck just happened mode.
Meanwhile, Yodonashi has opted to go back in time and set right what went wrong. It's the moth fight, mark, what, 3, 4?
Something like that.
Still with fighter sword. Still with torches that just refuse to cooperate.
Just... Okay. We need to get back on focus. Okay, so we got another moth fight. Oh boy. Alright.
This time it's gonna be different. I feel it. This is the time. This is your time.
He's still on fighter sword. He's still basically on the same equipment.
Yep. He's pulling out that fire rod. No mercy for this moth.
Also, look where Pool Float's going.
Oh, it's Turtle Rock. It's the TR play. Don't blame him one bit. Yodonashi guzzling that second blue goo.
Yep. Alright. So, we'll see if Mirror's in here, if it's behind here. It's not in a pretty place at this point.
One heart left in! Yodonashi goes down!
This is 7-7, right?
It is. This is
Okay.
open 7-7 defeat Ganon. Everything as normal as it's gonna get this season of League.
Okay, I thought so. I just went up. Hi, Mirror.
And Pool Float enters Go Mode 1 hour, 41 minutes and change into this race. He has Swamp to go and then a GT.
Alright, so... might be able to actually sub 2 hour this. It's gonna be a bit tight and depend on the GT Big Kogi location, but could still... You know, if I were him, I'd go get those silvers before Ganon's Tower. They're just sitting there on the Hylia Island. It's not that far out of the way.
Yeah, I think there is definitely an argument for you've come this far, you're entering go mode at an hour 42, you don't know what's happening on your opponent's side. Let's just make life easy.
Yeah, this has been rough for Yodo, and he deserves all credit in the world putting up with the siege. So we're gonna see a go mode swamp, get the first chest, and go. No need for a big key, no need for anything but the small keys that are under pots.
Yep. The only item left in the pool that makes a difference is the silvers. You already know where that is. No reason to go out of your way.
Exactly. I mean, they could get butter, but it's not really worth it at this point to look for.
Yeah, red mail would probably make the next biggest difference. It's nice to have that little extra bit of safety, but...
Yeah, with 12 hearts blue mail. It's nice, but... it's not a big deal. Yodo, you still don't have any more mountain access. What are you doing? You already checked this, didn't you? Is he? Oh, Spike.
Oh, he's going to Spike Cave.
Not a bad play. Not the right one in this case, but not a bad play.
This late in the day, I don't know what a bad play even is. I think you just make the checks that occur to you and hope.
I mean, and this is nothing against anybody, but if I were him at this point, I'd just be waiting for the dot done and be ready to forfeit.
Oh, absolutely. Trust me, I have been in those races where I am eyeing that race time GG. I am hoping to just put it into it. Please.
Let me out of my suffering, please.
With me, it happens on the ladder where the ping comes in through Discord, and I'll get an unrelated ping for something else, and I'll actually be mad. What are you doing bothering me with this thing that's not letting me off the hook of this race that I've signed on for?
Oh. I know Yodonashi's pain, though. We've all been there.
Yep, and... yeah, he's, and thank you to Yodonashi for agreeing to play with us. We needed a third for the team. This was this past spring, and I made an announcement to my...
Oh, I don't need to interrupt, but look where Yodo's going.
Oh, he's gonna get the hook shot!
Sorry, I just, saw that. It's this is kind of important.
Yeah, no, yeah, absolutely, 100%. We are supposed to actually be commentating this race.
Turtle Rock Medallion was Ether.
Yeah, and that is also the 7th crystal over on Pool Float's side, meaning we have a little game that we like to play around these parts.
Oh, yes, let's start that. Alright. Get your GT Big Key guesses in chat. Pick a number 1 to 22, where you think the GT Big Key will be. I'm picking 22, because I like to be mean like that.
You know what? I usually pick 2 because I like to be nice, but just today, I'm going to pick 22. Because it would be in keeping with the rest of the day.
It definitely would. It definitely would.
But yes, when I was putting together the Land of the Blind team, I specifically wanted players from my small, close-knit circle of friends. I didn't want to have two people who knew each other and then bring on a third rando looking for group person. And Yodonashi was kind enough to step up and make it a true blinders team.
That is fair, and, you know, kudos to anybody willing to join a tournament as somebody new.
Yeah, at the time he had been playing for maybe 2 months. He, as of today, has been playing Randomizer for less than a year. Lord knows I wasn't getting restreamed in a competitive setting less than a year into my playing Randomizer.
Yeah. Also, sorry about that. Slight pause there, and that was my end. Alright. Opening up Ganon's Tower. Guesses are now closed. Alright. Let's see where it is. Will this seed have a little mercy, or will it be just as trolly as the rest of it? Well, there's a small key and a triple bombs. No big key yet.
Pool Float opting to go left rather than continue on to the right. Just a heart container on Bob's torch. Oh, Pool Float, you're killing me. More importantly, you're killing Bob. Why would you do this?
'Cause health.
No, yeah, I agree. The way the seed's been going, yeah, get the health. Screw Bob.
Alright, so I got confirmation from a very good person with glitches named Zero Rush. Yes, that fire rod thing was the same trick as the one in GT.
Big thanks to Zero Rush. That is one thing that I absolutely love about this community. Anytime, day or night, you log into that Discord with some weird question, and seems like there is always somebody around who is willing to be a friendly voice explaining things to a newbie. Or in this case, Math Girl is far from a newbie, but there are so many weird ins and outs, nooks and crannies to this game. There's always something you don't know yet.
So yeah, there's like a 1 or 2 or 3 pixel window where you can fire rod past an object to hit a torch. It is very, very, very precise. I mean, yes, Yodo's gonna be able to open Turtle Rock, but he's 6 crystals behind.
He's not even technically in go mode after finding the mirror in there. He still needs that Master Sword from Oakshot Cave.
Oh, this poor man. Alright, so this is 10, 11, 12, 13. Well, at least getting another potion.
Yeah, the way this day's going, any extra little bit of safety, and it's a blue goo, no less. Yodonashi finding his Master Sword. Will he go into Turtle Rock and achieve go mode before this race comes to a close?
He will, I think. But, man. I mean, at least he gets to go mode everything?
By my calculations, if Pool Float falls to Ganon 10 or 15 times...
No, please, Yoda, please go to Turtle Rock, please, please! I think Yodo's on a GameCube controller, from what chat was saying earlier.
I would like to point out for the record that I offered to Amazon Prime a nice brand new iBuffalo controller to Yodonashi, and he said, "Oh no, I'm fine. I've got a new controller coming."
Oh dear.
I would also like to point out for the record that I know Yodonashi's live-in girlfriend. I do not need him to get his address to send him a real controller. I can go over his head on this one, and will.
Alright, so gonna go right side. I can't even remember. Did we see Ice Armos?
We did. It's just with silvers, that's a blink and you miss it fight.
Alright, so it's gonna be here or in tile room.
Oh, give it to me. Give me that tile room. It's all I want for Christmas. Let's do this.
Alright, no, that's 20. GG's to Zizing Tin for getting the GT Bigkey guessing game win. You win a lifetime supply of Link to the Past randomizer seeds. Redeemable at ALTTPR.com. Alright, on to Mimic's room.
One of the estimated 3 rooms in the entire game where that mirror shield might matter. And it does. Blocks him, saves him a couple of hearts.
Yep. Unfortunately, Yodo did not go to Turtle Rock, so...
That decision may have cost him the match. You have to laugh.
I hate to say it, but I think he lost this match already. Like, it's not over till, the dot done, but...
I mean, I could look at the racetime.gg window right now, but I'm having too much fun. Let's preserve the suspense.
He's 6 crystals behind. I think this was already a done deal.
A dot done deal? Pool Float has had enough of these mother-loving skeletons in his mother-loving seed. He pulls out that Bombos medallion. He doesn't want a horse around here.
Yep. Alright. Honestly, at this point, I'd just bombos everything. At least Pool Float got his silvers, though. So, gonna be an easy-ish Ganon fight. Still gonna have to deal with Tempered, but...
Speaking of not messing around, Yodonashi says, "You know what? Fill up those bottles. I'll show you the inside of this room. When's the last time you saw this very room?"
A while.
I couldn't even have told you which block to push for it. Just a horrible, horrible thought, but then I looked at Pool Float's small key count and said, nope, he's safe.
What were you thinking?
I was thinking you might have made the same mistake that I made, not 2 races ago.
He's fine. He's fine.
He's fine. He's fine.
Hello, Yodonashi. Yodonashi joining us in chat, so I guess I can go ahead and announce this now. He has forfeit.
You're not supposed to tell people.
I mean, he's in chat. I mean, he's not gonna finish in 10 minutes with not even being in go mode and 6 crystals to do. I'm not sure I could even do that with without EG and no logic tricks.
Full Float having a much easier time on this second Moldorm with his tempered sword in tow.
Yep. And just a heart container. Hey, that's nice though.
I'll take it. Those Ganon bats sting. Making use of the cape to trivialize this particular room. That room that was the bane of my existence as a child.
Yep. Also off to Agatu. You know, I've been thinking about something interesting. You know, you'd think that Butter Sword would make Ganon fight better, but if done perfectly, I have to assume that Butter would actually lose time due to lag.
I didn't think that Butter created any additional lag. I thought it was just a palette swap.
It creates more lag from what I can tell. You can tell with, like, Trinex.
I was not aware.
Or
I knew that Mirror Shield created lag.
Well, yes, but if done perfectly, if you get the 1-in-1, I would assume that Butter actually loses time. I'm talking hypotheticals here, okay?
Yeah, I mean, I'm sure it's tool-assisted speedrun levels of margin, but...
No, not even that. Well, I mean, as far as the lag, yeah. But... Alright, we will get you in for an interview after Pool Float finishes. It's just one quick Ganon fight away. We got silvers. Why are you spinning, Ganon? You do not have Master Sword. What are you doing?
He's just styling on him at this point.
Alright, time to do phase 4. Oh no, silvers, my one true weakness. Yup.
If Yodonashi can kill Moth, it's a moral victory.
Oh, ha ha. That was clean. That was a beautiful torch glitch. Got it. First fire rod shot. And GG's to Pool Float.
Pool Float finishes in first place. Oh wait, can I spoil it? There's still the bridge. Wait for the bridge.
Yeah, wait for the bridge.
Can I take him to the bridge? Take them all to the bridge. Can I take him to the bridge?
Now you
Pool
can...
Float crosses the bridge in first place with an official racetime.gg time of 2 hours, 1 minute, and 37 seconds.
And we are joined. Hello, Pool Float and Yodonashi. GG's.
Yeah, GG. I hate moths so much.
You know, kudos to you for sticking it out till
It reminds me very much of one of my raises from last season, where pretty much the exact same situation happened, where Moth and I kept going at it about 3 or 4 times, and it just didn't work out. So,
Oh
Yeah,
man.
I can't believe I took it at the cold stare the way I did.
yeah, honestly, like going in, early in the seed, I thought I was doing really well. I thought the doubling back to check Bottle Boy and getting Moon Pearl off of him was like a really big brain play. I was like, oh, people probably wouldn't double back that fast. And I thought it put me in an early lead. And then Skullwoods happened. And I was like, I'm behind for the rest of this seed. Not catching up.
How many times did he get you?
I lost count.
You know,
And the-
I'm usually really like Moth is one of my biggest weaknesses, and you know, I had a magic potion, half of a magic bar, and I had burners. I'm like, you know what? I'm going for it. I think I had 6 hearts or 7 hearts, and I still had fighter swords. I'm like, you know what? I'm going for it. We're just gonna see. And at the last possible second, I got him.
Yeah, and Wimpy just asked me in the chat here, do I have my new controller? I do, and that's what was causing me to screw up all of my Ice Palace stuff. I could not get a single frame to the left for the life of me for Icebreaker. I could not get the right pixels for IPBJ, or it was just miserable for me. So I definitely got to practice more with this controller. I am using D-pad, but getting used to the new controller is fun.
Yeah, I'm still using an original Super Nintendo controller.
Yeah, that's what I have now. I've been playing on DualShock and GameCube controller up till now.
Oh yeah, oh that's an absolutely huge. Yeah, that's once you get adjusted though, huge difference.
Mm-hmm. But no, it's GG. I tried to make it up by doing a lot of out of logic, sequence breaks. I went into Ice Palace like before finding flippers ever. I tried and it just didn't work out.
Mirror was in Turtle Rock.
Ah, okay. I was avoiding Turtle Rock like the plague. I saw that it was a pendant, and I was like, nice! That is my second least favorite dungeon right behind Skull Woods. So if it's a pendant, especially, I try to stay away from it completely. So that sucks.
Yeah.
Your other sword was in Ice Palace, I believe.
I assumed my next sword was in Ice Palace. It was either in Ice Palace or in Misery Mire. I was trying to get cutscene chest, and then I died there, and I was like, you know what? It's not worth going through this again and trying to fight Viddy with a fighter sword and no silvers, having already seen that silvers were on island. I'm just going to go and do some of my orphan checks and hopefully find some progression somewhere, which then I happen to find Hookshot and Nagina's.
Yeah, if I remember correctly, I believe Master Sword was in for me was in Hookshot Cave.
Yep.
And then Tempered was actually right on the other side of Icebreaker.
Oh, yeah.
I think.
I actually have a question. So that I just lost. Shit. Oh, Zora. You realize that was a Sphere 2 check, right?
I was sitting there and I was like, I came up here mainly, I did the sequence break mainly to go into Waterfall Fairy because I tend to have a lot of progression in Waterfall Fairy. This week I've done about 3 or 4 seeds, and 50% of them, like 2 of those seeds had Hammer in Waterfall Fairy. So I was like, that's a 50-50 shot of progression in Waterfall. I'm just going to keep running it back. So I went up there and I was like, well, I'm in the area and I've already got my water walk going. I might as well go do Zora. And there was Boots right there. And I was, heck yeah, it worked out for me to an extent.
Yeah, you guys
I got Boots really late.
You guys got him about the same time, I think.
Yeah.
I was really worried when I finally, because I took that Death to Cold Stare. I'm like, all right, so let me just go, and I was running all the way back down, and then I was so in the mindset of just get right back to him. Then I realized, nope, I need the block. So I ended up leaving Ice Palace, going literally the next check. I dug up Samaria. I'm like, all right, screw this. I'm gonna go do Mire before that gets away from me, and then I'll come back. So I think I technically triple dipped Ice but the final one was literally just to run right down and kill Cold Stare.
Yeah, I got a little excited when I found Hookshot because of the fact I was thinking, Book was behind Hookshot in Hookshot Cave. So, like, the seed hadn't really given me a reason to go towards desert yet. So I was sitting here hoping that maybe, just maybe, he hasn't checked Nagina's closet yet, and maybe I'm back in it now. And then I look over, about 30, maybe 40 minutes later, and you finish. I was like, yeah, he definitely checked it early. Shoot.
Also, Yodo, I do have a question. Why did you walk to sink instead of saving and quitting?
I'm not honestly sure. I was more just you're talking early on.
Yeah, did you just forget?
I routed all the way around and went over to say So it was honestly a really stupid reason. I was more just using it as time for me to try to figure out what was going on with my tracker, because even though I had auto tracking enabled, it wasn't actually auto tracking. So I was like going in and like catching myself up on what items I do have and getting used to switching back over to manual tracking because auto tracking wasn't working. So
I'd recommend using Open Tracker because it seems to crash less.
Yeah, it didn't give me a crash error. I'm using Emo Tracker, but it didn't give me a crash error. It just wasn't. Yeah, it just wasn't auto tracking. So I was like, and the weird part was it auto tracked every now and then. Like it caught on that I did dig spot because it then put an X over top of shovel. It caught on that I did King's Tomb, but it didn't track anything else.
Yeah, just use Open Tracker. It's much more reliable.
Yeah, I'll take a look at that. But GG, I hate moths. If I'd actually been able to do something with my moth fight, might have done a bit better. I was actually fairly pleased with my blind fight, and from anything before Skull Woods, I was like, I'm actually doing pretty decent. We'll see how it goes, but alas.
Yeah, it was
horrible.
Moth's horrible, especially when you have Fighter Sword and 8 hearts.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's what I had. I used I got a magic fill in the Gibdo room, and then I used as much I didn't want to risk the fire rod because it just I think I used fire rod a few times. And then when it got low enough, I filled up my magic, and then it was like, all right, I'm not doing, like, he kept hanging out by spikes too much. So I'm like, all right, let me switch and try the burner route and see if I can just hit him with my sword. And it was a messy fight, but I got lucky.
I didn't even think to try using Burna. I don't know why. I just kept trying to brute force it with sword and fire rod.
Also, one more question, Yodo.
Mm-hmm.
Why were you keep trying to kill that Gibdo when you didn't need to?
Okay, yeah, it's literally the fact of I participated last league season, but that was like first the league last year was my first runs ever. Before even doing league, I had done like one before, so it's a combination of being still fairly new, so I don't know all the dungeons in and out quite yet. And me just hating Skull Woods so much that I was like, I'm gonna grab every key I can in here just to cover my bases in case. So it was unnecessary, but I realized it after the fact.
That's fair. Alright, so any last thoughts? And also go ahead and check out the schedules, follow ALTTPR League channels, follow Speed Gaming channels, follow the runners, follow the crew. And I'll let you guys finish out any thoughts you have.
You want to go first?
I hate moths. That's the same as last season. I remember the same thing happened last season. I kind of got a reputation for hating moth. So,
yeah,
GG though.
I mean, thank you. For me, I took a few early gambles too. Like I went almost immediately with getting Dark World access. I figured, hey, let me see Hype Cave. Nah, that was a dud. But I'm just one of the biggest things. Like by the time I went back for Ice Palace, I was just so glad that I was able to pull off an icebreaker that someone else would see me do, because before that it's only been in the practice ROM and only local. So it was And and honestly, I last location mirror because just like you, I was avoiding Turtle Rock. I did not want to go in there. I did all the small little checks, and I'm like, all right, it's at the point where I gotta do it. And then big key first chest, small key second chest, mirror, and I was like, save and quit. I'm out.
Yeah.
Yeah, I was about ready to go clear Eastern after I'd finished Skull Woods and Mire. I was like, Mirror's got to be somewhere.
I almost did that. I did this. I was planning Super Bomb. I was gonna say, okay, I'll do the Super Bomb. I'll do Pod with one item and Eastern with one item. We're like, oh, but I can't mirror back to Eastern unless I find the mirror, in which case I'm done anyway. So let me just go for Turtle Rock. And in this case, I'm really glad I did.
Yeah. So yeah, thank you everybody. Thanks for the support I saw out there in the chat. Also.
Yes, thank you. Thank you to commentators, trackers, everybody watching. Greatly appreciate the chance to not look like a total fool on this run.
Well, thank you both very much for putting on this show for us, and everybody stick around. I believe we are going to be switching you over to Speed Gaming for the Invitational League, GFE 12 versus Jay Meisher, Spherefinity versus Tile Roomies.
Alright, so I'm gonna cut us off on the mics, but we're gonna keep that up until we do a raid. See y'all.